You guys can look at this too. I have nothing to hide here. Even though Wizard101 might. There is something amiss in the spiral, and well, we're just gonna have to talk about it. Now, I don't know if you've seen the rumblings on Twitter, or if you've seen, like, I don't know, other content creators talking about this, but it has been a really, really long time since we've had a traditional crown sale. Now, this is not to be confused with what we now know as called the super crown sale, and it's very important not to get these confused. What the super crown sale basically does is it takes what you already would buy and it adds 50% of crowns, right? Now, what the regular crown sale does, which in my opinion is way better, is that it reduces the price of all the crowns by 25%. Just so that you know there's no confusion on this, basically, right now, if you spend $80 without any sales at all, right, you would get 60,000 crowns, right? Now, with the super crown sale, if you spent $80, you'd get 90,000 crowns. But with the regular, traditional 25% off crown sale, you would spend $60 for 60 crowns. In my opinion, the $60 for 60 crowns is probably the best way to get that magic, 1,000 crowns per dollar number without spending an excessive amount of money. And that is why, in my opinion, if I were you, I would always save up my money, especially if you're a crowns player or anything like that. I would always save up my money for something like that. Now, here's the thing. That wouldn't actually be a problem if they actually put those out. And that's what this video is about. It is about new levels of grease that I have noticed. I have crunched the numbers, I have looked at the data, and I have concluded that there is grease. Now, when was the last time that we had one of these crown sales? Believe it or not, it has actually almost been 3 months since we've gotten a 25% off crown sale. It's been almost 3 months since we've had the $60 for 60,000 crowns. That we have not gotten that since July 29th. Now, I do want to say that July 29th also seems to be a time where other things seem to change. They put out a lot more, bundles. Like, that was something that they made very clear that they were going to focus on a lot. And let's not forget, they also added the Scroll of Fortune during the summer test run. So it seems like around July 29th, there seems to be a change in the marketing strategy. And I can tell you exactly why, because I'm going to tell you guys the dates of all the other 25% off crown sales right now. You too can find this information. All you have to do is go to the Wizard101 main website. All you have to do is go under bundles, right? Where the bundles are, you go under them and you see the Ravenwood News, and you can click on any month and you'll see every announcement. So you can see and track, just like I did, when the last crown sales was. So without further ado, here are the dates before July 29th, 2019 of all the crown sales that were not super crown sales, but they were literally the same number of crowns for less, because in my opinion, that's what a sale really is. Are y'all ready for this? I'm reading it right off of my notes themselves. We had a 25% off crown sale during this year, March 22nd, we had it May 28th, we had it June 21st, we had it April 8th, but it wasn't later in April because we also had a half off membership sale, and of course we had it July 29th. Now, these are just the last 5 months that we had these 25% off sales, but what you might notice is that August, nowhere to be seen. September, nowhere to be seen. And honestly, I fear that October also nowhere to be seen. Meanwhile, and you guys can look at this too, I have nothing to hide here, even though Wizard101 might. Meanwhile, there's been a ton more Super Crown sales. And how I see this is, in my opinion, a fairly, underhanded way. And I'm sorry for not noticing this sooner. I only noticed it because a lot of other people have been bringing it up. But now that I see it, I do notice it. This is a great way, basically, to get people to spend more and more money because they think that they're getting a bigger bang for their buck. And why do I say that? Because basically with Super Crown sales, you're still spending the same amount of money you would be anyways, but those crowns basically are just getting, 50% extra. So you're spending $80, it's just now you're getting 90,000 crowns instead of, spending actually less money like you should be if it's a real sale. And it seems like they're almost gonna get, I don't know, I don't want to say they're gonna get rid of it, but it definitely seems like it's no coincidence that they had it at the end of the month, almost every month for this year, then suddenly 2 months in a row, maybe even 3 months now, they haven't had one. Like, it seems like there's a change, right? I mean, I think the reason for that change is because basically you're getting tricked into getting more, you're spending more money on something that technically has no inherent worth. What do I mean by that? Crowns do not have any inherent worth. There's just pieces of code. KingsIsle can create infinite crowns if they wanted and just put a price tag on it and you can buy it. So the key here is that they're not losing any money here by giving you extra crowns for the same price. What they would be losing money is if they gave you the, the same number of crowns for a smaller price, right? I think that logic makes sense, especially when you think about the fact that crowns can get lost very easily. In my opinion, like, even psychologically, I feel like if I had 90,000 crowns, I'd be much more likely to stitch, I'd be much more likely to throw in chests, I'd be much more likely to open up packs, I'd be much more likely, to do all kinds of things that are essentially just either crowns down the drain, like, buying energy elixirs, hatching elixirs. I would, that's like, I would buy that more, and I'll probably lose the money faster if I'm really being honest. So I think that what it really seems to be is a marketing strategy to get you to spend the same money that you would be because you think a sale is happening, and honestly blow through the crowns just as fast anyways because you think you have so many extra. And I know this seems like a convoluted, like, almost like a conspiracy theory kind of thing, but here's the thing, I'm not saying that super crown sales are inherently awful. I just think that you should alternate. You should have 60k for 60k crowns for $60. You should have that, and you should have super crown sale. Otherwise, if you don't balance that out, what you're basically essentially doing is completely forgetting about the people who genuinely do not have more than $60 to spend. I know $60 versus $80, especially for the same essentially number of dollars for crowns, doesn't seem like a lot. It is a lot. Let's not forget that we're not just, interested in the 60k or the 80k crowns that people are going to be buying. With the 25% off sale, any number of crowns that you buy are genuinely discounted. Basically what that means is, let's say you want to buy zones, let's say you actually want to buy packs in the game, let's say you want to stitch, let's say you want to do anything as a crowns player. What's going to end up happening is that you are going to either have to wait for more and more time until you can actually get an actual discount, or you're kind of forced to basically just pay the same amount and get some bonus crowns. Now again, I guess it's not the end of the world, you still do get bonus crowns, but it is interesting food for thought on what KingsIsle might be doing. My theory, and I feel like that's especially supported by the fact that right now they have, like, a bundle where you can buy crowns and you just get a membership tacked onto it, like that kind of thing. They've also been rolling out a lot of things that, if you're a member, you actually are like, or you enjoy the game a lot more. You got the Scroll of Fortune, you got Beast Moon Hunt, you got PvP that you don't have to pay for. There are so many things that Crowns seems to, like, they don't really seem to be wanting Crowns players to be a thing, even though it is by far the cheapest way to play this game. If you actually are tight on money, I highly recommend just buy crowns, and you are essentially making Wiz a one-time payment until they update the game. But right now, they're trying to make that not possible. If you go down this route, either you have to decrease the price of membership, which I know they're not going to do, or you should be like, oh, I don't know, maybe we should just let the people who don't have tons of money still be able to enjoy this game. This game is getting further and further from free to play every single time they do something like this. And I'm really scared that, like, when the new update comes out, when people want to buy the new zones, there's going to be fewer people who are likely to do it because they've run through all their crowns, and there hasn't been a crown sale that they can actually afford in the past 3 months. Like, just think about that. That has the potential to actually lower the turnout. Not to mention, and this, I cannot stress this enough, I don't think you have that much to lose by alternating between super crowns and the 25% off, because sometimes, especially when there's, like, member benefits, like during double pet XP, people are more likely to buy crowns. People are more likely to buy them for energy elixirs and hatching elixirs and pros. Those cost a lot, especially when you put out a new pack. People that are crowns players are more likely to buy the damn packs if they can actually just afford the crowns to begin with. I don't think this is a crazy concept. And you know what? Maybe it's not a marketing strategy. Maybe it's just that they forgot that that type of sale existed. But what I think is that you're basically telling a certain group of people that have been playing this game for years and years that something that they've reliably bought crowns from doesn't exist anymore. And I have a problem with that. I'm not even buying crowns. And, like, crowns are, like, they help me make content. I'm not really going to go buy crowns until they do a proper crown sale. And that's just the truth. There's nothing else. There's no other way to look at this for me personally. But yeah, man, this is pretty opinionated, I'm not gonna lie. So let me know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that this is just a way to grease more money out of people who just happen to have more money? And do you think that there's a certain group of people that are being not looked after when you're just forgetting about these crowns? And this is the part that I'm mostly worried about. Do you think it could stop people from playing the game, especially when a big update comes out, simply because they can't afford it the way they used to be able to? I don't know. But in my opinion, and from my experience, looking out for the community will always be better for the long-term health of the community. And I don't see why they changed something that didn't, to me, seem like it needed to change at all. Sorry if this video is kind of confusing. I feel like there's a lot of numbers, but you know, hopefully I'll edit it and it'll come out okay. But I really want to know your opinions. Like, do you guys think this is just greasy? Or do you think, you know, this is better for the game because I guess they make more money? Or do you think it'll hurt the game? Let me know in the comments below. As always, my man, drop a like if you enjoyed. Leave a sub if you're new. There's tons of links in the description, including my Twitch, my Twitter, my Discord, my Instagram, and if you want to support it, my Patreon. Thank you for all the beautiful, beautiful patrons on Patreon already. And as always, if somebody has not told you you're awesome today, they doing something wrong. So stay awesome, brother. And yeah.